Welcome to the Golden Hour, a content series from us here at the Horizon League. On this week's episode, join us as we hear from some of our athletic directors as they share more information about their life in the league.
Joined now by the directors of athletics at Cleveland State University and the University of Detroit Mercy. Kelsie Gory Harkey representing the Vikings of Cleveland State. Robert Vowels of the Titans of Detroit Mercy. Guys, thank you so much for joining us and welcome to Indianapolis. And Kelsie, we will go ladies first. One of the things that we're talking about in terms of our experience today is major moves, major market. And that's one of the things that we tout with the Horizon League is the dynamic urban campuses that our schools have. And frankly, both these two schools certainly qualify for that. So the Cleveland experience at Cleveland State, what sort of role does that play in the student athlete experience for your Vikings?
No, great question, and I'm happy to be here today, so thank you. Cleveland is one of the most special aspects of being at Cleveland State and being a Viking. We say on our campus, the city is our campus, and we truly live that on a daily basis. Our student athletes have the opportunity to engage with Fortune 500 employers for internships or jobs after they graduate from Cleveland State. They have opportunities to walk downtown. It's just a few minutes. We truly are right downtown. They can go to Playhouse Square to watch some live theater. We, of course, have a lot of professional teams that our student athletes can engage in. We're right on Lake Erie, which is a huge part of our campus and Cleveland as a whole. And so we really do embrace Cleveland as a part of the Cleveland State culture.
Robert, same question for you. And what does the role of where your campus is located downtown, what role does that play in the student athlete experience?
I think it plays a big role. We're in Northwest Detroit. So, and we have a little moniker. It says the world needs more Titans. And so, with the big three motor industries there, downtown has been renovated, revised. Since I've been there in 2008, we came in when there was a downturn with the economy. But like you just said, like the Ren Center, we've got 4 pro teams now. The Lions are really doing well, as everybody knows. But our campus is about, I'd say 90 square miles, and so it's pretty. Yeah. You come in there, it kind of opens up, kind of like the Land of Oz. But the student athletes have a chance to, work with some other students. Meaning elementary school students, like middle school students. We have a school called Jesu just right across the street. Another Catholic school that we've been working with for over 100 years. So there's a lot of opportunities to come in there and just be part of the community.
I've had the pleasure of calling a basketball game at Callahan Hall, and unfortunately there was a snowstorm on my way to get there that day. I didn't have much time to kind of experience the area around campus.
Right.
When I come back to watch the Titans in action, what's my pregame spot? Where should I go for a meal before I see the next big Titans basketball game?
Oh, boy. You like up and down Livernois Avenue.
Mm-hmm.
We have tremendous restaurants. So it's called the Avenue of Fashion. So I think that's one place to start. But coming in Callahan Hall, it's built in 1952. It's been around for a while. Motown is part of that too. So it's a great place to be.
Kelsie, the first time I was at the Wolstein Center, LeBron James had played there as a high school athlete. About 2 or 3 weeks before, I called a game involving, before they were league rivals, IUPUI then and Cleveland State. Next time I'm back in downtown Cleveland to watch the Vikings, where should I go before the game?
Great question. Well, similar. There's a lot of great options in Cleveland. And again, you're just a few minutes walk from downtown. But I would personally recommend the Viking Public House right on campus at Cleveland State. Great food. If you're interested in a beverage before the game, you could certainly do that, and you'll be surrounded by some of the best Vikings fans and a lot of Viking paraphernalia. So it's a great place to go.
I want to see some Mouse McFadden gear from '86. That's what I want to see when I go to the public house. All right. Again, we're talking about the student athlete experience, and we know how busy they are in terms of training, in terms of what we ask for academically. But we also want our student athletes to be a part of their communities and not just the campus community. So how do your students make an impact all throughout Northern Ohio and the city of Cleveland?
The community impact is really important and critical to the student athlete experience at Cleveland State, and a part of helping our student athletes develop as individuals and thrive. So we're incredibly fortunate that there are a lot of opportunities within a walking distance to campus or within the greater Cleveland area, depending upon what the passions of our student athletes are when it comes to the community. A few things that I'll point out: we are really fortunate to have a partnership with Campus International, a school that's located on our campus. And so we will often engage with them in regards to different pen pal writing experiences, and then inviting them to games. We also have a lot of student athletes that volunteer to read to the classes, or really just help them in the sport, right? Going to their campus, and we have a lacrosse team who will come and teach them lacrosse, or we'll have some of our other teams go and play soccer or basketball. So that has been a really excellent partnership, and not just our student athletes giving, but really receiving a lot of benefits from being able to engage with students and young kids.
Robert, Detroit is a city that if someone invests in Detroit, the people from Detroit pay them back. What are your student athletes doing to, again, give back to a great city?
Well, I mean, first and foremost, it starts with SAC. And so SAC is a major part of what we do. And they come with a lot of great ideas. I mean, like during Thanksgiving and Christmas, we're giving away turkeys. You know, we're doing toys for tots. Just to make sure that families are taken care of during the year. During the school year, too, we do our reading programs, mentoring programs, our camps. You know, we have women's basketball that has the elementary school day where we'll bring in 4,000 elementary school kids at 11 a.m. and play the women's basketball game. So, I mean, here again, we're getting out. We're being who we are. I think the student athletes like getting out, especially with the Detroit public schools, the Catholic schools in the area, and suburban schools.
Robert, let's talk about the campus experience for the greater campus as a whole in Detroit. What's new at UDM these days?
Well, we just have a brand new student union, and so it's where all the hubbub is. President's office is there. All the other major offices are there inside there. Plus, you know, the cafeteria. So it's been redone since it's been there probably about a year and a half now. So that is kind of the hubbub of the campus, and so everybody's enjoying it at this point in time.
Kelsie, again, whether you're a Viking or not, you're a Viking if you're a student at Cleveland State. So what's new at CSU these days?
There's a lot, right? Our campus is constantly changing to meet the needs of our students, which is exciting to be a part of that energy. I would say, you know, just really evaluating how we can continue to impact the student experience overall at Cleveland State is always top of mind. You know, looking at our health and well-being and how can we create a culture of well-being on our campus. We've done a lot of work with our counseling center, looking at our campus spaces. How can we encourage community across green spaces? We've got a new food truck that our catering services is providing, and so that has come to many games that goes and sits out on our green space. And so again, really trying to identify ways to build community across all of Cleveland State.
And finally, we are recording this in Indianapolis, and if you are an athlete, if you're a coach, if you're an administrator in the Horizon League, you're spending a lot of time in Indianapolis. League meetings take place here. And of course, basketball, the conference tournament is held here at the Indiana Farmers Coliseum. So when you're visiting Indy, what's your favorite part about being in the Circle City?
Well, Indy is a great city, and I was fortunate to spend some time at the NCAA prior to being at Cleveland State, and so have gotten the opportunity to get to know the city fairly well. One of my favorite things was to walk or run the canal.
There you go.
Not running much these days, but to still just walk the canal, to be able to be by water. And it's such a peaceful and beautiful area and so vibrant. And then, of course, Mass Ave. I love to eat, and so to try new restaurants on Mass Ave is always fun.
Do you have time to visit one while you're here? You're pretty locked in with your schedule.
This week we're pretty locked in, but we'll find a time to go somewhere.
All right, Robert. What about you? When you come to Indianapolis, what do you think of immediately?
Well, same here. I lived there for 7 years. Worked at the NCAA for 7 years as the VP for Student Athlete Affairs. So just being downtown, I think Indianapolis is one of the best cities for major events It's easy to walk. It's easy to get to. And the Indianapolis Sports Commission does a fantastic job of putting these events together. So I think this is a wonderful place to come and visit. And, of course, basketball is great.
Guys, thanks for your time. Go Vikings. Go Titans.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so
Appreciate you.
much.
Are you hungry? Cluster Truck is Indy's go-to delivery and pickup kitchen. With always free delivery and over 100 menu items, there is something to satisfy everyone's craving. Hand-stretched pizzas, pad thai, tacos, salads, wraps, burritos, and more, delivered directly to your curb. Delivering to Fountain Square, downtown Indy, Carmel, Castleton, Broad Ripple, Fishers, and more. Use code HLRadio at checkout to receive $5 off your next order of $20 or more. Order now at clustertruck.com.